I still feel that the best chance for Weibo Gaming in winning is for them to go for their comfort picks. In Varus being the comfort pick here by Duan, you saw it, right? Like he was 3-0 on the Varus, a pick that no one else plays. So I like this. I don't fault Weibo Gaming in going for the Varus. The only question is this still going to be the double marksman for Faye? Are they going for a curveball here? Like, for example, going for the Gwen to try to control the sideline?
Yeah, it could definitely be, because right now it's still a very flexible draft, right? Aatrox could go into the jungle, Aatrox is going to go into the top lane from what we have seen over the past day and even the past series that we've had, but KBG locks in onto his area.
Chama is not going for the Sivir, which is...
What? Garen!
Zihan! Oh, and then you have the Gwen, right?
Oh, Gwen comes into the mid lane. What a flip of script here. WBG. Garen. Is this the first time we're seeing Garen all throughout Season 2?
Nah, it's going to be not the first time. I saw Garen get picked once before. But it's so rare nowadays that, you know, whenever it gets locked down, it's a surprise to everyone. But Zihan... Wait, Datone is going to play Jace? It's not a Datone pick. That is for sure. But this is one way to control the Aatrox. Remember when we said that, you know, one way to control the Aatrox is by poking him away of team fights. If he's less than half health, he's not going to enter the team fight at all.
Yeah, this will be such an interesting game, right? Jay's going into the side of KBG, I believe. And then you have the Garen on the opposite side. It's such... this series overall is a good change of pace and a new flavor in season.
That's true. And I can't wait. Weibo Gaming is stuck into the old meta, right? Like they still pick the Varus, they still pick the Garen, but if there is a team that can make it work, it's them. Surely.
Weibo Gaming, we'll see how they will maneuver around the Rift, how they could manage a draft that they've had with both these teams, as we are moments away from the deciding match of KBG and Weibo Gaming.
You know what? I'll be so happy to see the Garen's big sword executing on run 9, because he was immortal, right? He was 0 deaths in game number 2, and then imagine the tilt, right? In game number 3, he's about to be deathless once again, and then Faye is going to play the Garen mid lane. No,
Garen mid lane. Oh, this is so hard. Like,
it's so funny though if you think about it, right?
It is.
Okay, so Unreal 9 is the better mid laner, but there's no better mid laner if you're facing against the Garen.
Yeah, 100%. But I feel like this will be a little bit more difficult, right? In comparison to a Gwen mid lane, wherein you have a little bit more of that range access. This is not exactly the same thing, right? It's like Garen up against Zoe. I just can't imagine how Faye's gonna have like a very hard time in the early game phase.
It's all about surviving, right? Just as long as he sustains, he gets enough levels, by the time that they rotate onto the side lane, he will have enough threat on his own, right? Like, and you know, at this point, I don't think you maximize the spin. You go and max your decisive strike, which is basically the silence stuff. Because that's the way you control the mid game, right? You know, a well-placed silence against the Zoe, that's it. That's a good night. And, you know, there are only a few champions in the game that has the silence functionality to them. Garen is one of them, of course. So it's going to be interesting as to how it will turn out. You had to flash away.
Yeah, so close. He did not. The piercing arrow will just be sponged up by the Alistar. But I was thinking, right? This is pretty much just Curie crafting, but wouldn't Kassadin be much more
effective? Of course. Of course it is. But what's easier to use?
Okay. A fair argument. A fair argument.
And also, you know, you don't have to wait for level 15 or level 13 to be effective as a Garen. At level 5, you already have that kill threat. Again, silence, and of course, Demolition Justice will also be there. So, yeah. Just to answer your question, And that I think is the reason why, Garen is never going to be out of the meta. The only time that the Garen is going to be out of the meta is if it's going to be a double marksman composition. But
And going in with Jetchion, using up the flash with the shield of the red, and Yu is stuck under the turret as WBG secures first blood.
That's a good first kill for Weibo Gaming, and although I think the first Darkin Blade did not connect. Let's look at that once again, right? Okay.
Flash.
So Jay-Chan using the flash.
Oh, yeah, it did not connect. Yeah, you're right.
But that's okay, right? No, never punished. WBG still able to get the first blood here, first blow here in the bot lane, and on the top side, Zihan going against KG. And we thought that Zihan will be playing the Garen. No, he wants to fight sword with the
scissors.
Wait, scissors.
Scissors.
So these are like the two champions that we have that does have the scissors, right? Like, you have KG with a scissor kick, and then Zihan with the scissors.
Yeah. Leg blade. A leg scissors. I don't know.
Yeah. It's it's the scissor kick, right? Like those are the tactical sweep. Technically is acting like a scissors, but Zihan. Oh, he's been so impressive so far for Weibo Gaming. Definitely a breath of fresh air compared to Beijing Sika. I was a noted hater of Sika just because he throws away advantages on the top side. At least Zihan can win on his own. So that's a very good side. Yeah.
That capitalizes the advantage and balloons it into much more.
Exactly.
And
look at this.
I feel like it's Zihan as well who played the macro play up against KG a while ago. That when KG reset, we did not take note of it. It's a very, very minute thing. But Zihan went back into the lane and let the wave push. So it was KG who had a disadvantage coming back into the lane because he has to overextend.
Yeah, lane control. A couple of things that needs to be mastered by all pro players, magnified even further by the C and Darren laners, right? Like that's basically it. And the question about how will they, I would say, survive against Unrun 9 so far is doing a great job. I mean, you look at the goal disparities, it's not even 500, it's just 300. And if it's that low, then the Garen is okay.
Yeah. And I think it's also the utilization of the passive, right? You regen back your HP time and time again. You're really just tanking, and also the skill that gives you access to defensive capabilities into those fights that keeps you up.
They have a very good ward here, by the way. They have information as to what Unrun 9 and Yu is planning to do. This is WBG's vision control in full display right now, but Duanyu has to be careful because he doesn't have the Edge of Night yet, and without the Edge of Night, it's so scary to face against the Zoe that can just bubble you to death.
He is, but Duanyu understands that, right? That we cannot go for even a little bit of an extension and overstep. Yeah. Because if we do, Under 9 can punish. So that is the reason why he just plays under the turret. So a very, very disciplined maneuver, but Yu and the time pays a visit off the Jetchion. Just his punch will not connect and has to force out the flash to back away.
Yeah, Jay-Chan is really not having the best day so far. Duanyu has to be careful!
Oh, those HP bars are just getting deleted left and right, and Renai's damage is too much at the moment. Jetchion is on the front lines, has information. Yu forces out the flash! The knockback! Jetchion is down low! But that will be the hero's entrance that will put them back to safety. Under 9 will miss the paddle star, so a good thing coming in from Jetchion. But right now, Rift WRL will be in contention! It's KBG, it's Japan who will get it for themselves, and now Zihan will be chased out, will be punished by KBG.
And that's also picks after picks the chase down potential by KBG. They will be getting more kills for themselves. KBG wins that team fight.
The fight was not over. It's Keep Best Gaming who wants more kills, who wants more advantage, and that they were able to take out.
Let's look into that replay. Yeah, it went all in. Rift Herald goes over to KBG, and this is already Weibo Gaming getting chunked to less than half health. Most of their members were already bleeding in health bars, and this is what we're talking about, right? That the poke composition by KBG, they're so good at utilizing it.
Yeah, and Under 9 once again just being that detriment for the side of WBG that you cannot access this objective for themselves. That was so close, but the smite that was for the taunt.
Right, that was indeed so close. And had it been that Duanyu was able to steal that, then WBG's morale will definitely be, recovered after suffering that heartbreaking teamfight loss in the referral. But we see in this picture in game number 1, right? KBG was able to control game number 1 for majority of that game. It did come down to one teamfight loss, and one teamfight loss was what was needed by WBG to actually just end up the game. So we'll see. It's not yet over for Weibo.
It's not yet over, but this far, KBG getting a 3K gold lead currently is massive for them. Considering they also have, Zoe, you have Zeri, and you also have Jace. This gold injection, this gold lead accelerates the advantage that they have over Weibo.
Yeah, and they don't have the Sivir to really accelerate this Aatrox to attach himself onto the Zeri. And even if he does, right, like Zeri is one of the more mobile champions that we have in the game, right? Like you can traverse over walls, which is basically unique to her. So I just don't think that Xiaoma will feel threatened by the all-ins of Weibo Gaming. If anything, maybe it's Unrun 9 that they want to target. But so far, all the attempts towards Unrun 9, they've not been successful, right? Like this is more of him being able to really know the maximum, the maximum potential of this champion.
Now the Pawn has information along with the rest of the crew by KBG that WBG is waiting over the horizon. Yu going with a proto build along with a flash. The knockback is there. Fan is isolated, has to force out a world ender, but a chain of corruption is the answer. Back KBG lost Jace. And now it will be Weibo Gaming, though, who has to retreat into their own jungle with KBG having a massive gold lead up against them. Too much damage.
In the end, like the double carry of KBG was still alive. Xiaoma getting the assassination onto Fan was so good. And as long as Xiaoma and Unrun 9 is alive, the chances of KBG winning team fights will definitely be up there. But I don't think that they were able to get the kills. I believe it was Yu that was able to get the 2 kills here. By the way, Fan getting caught out of position, and again, Xiaoma just waiting on the corner and just basically flashed in. And with Yu there once again with the Yu special on the Alistar, it's always a pleasure to see this player play, right? Like every time I see him play, especially on the Alistar, he makes crazy work.
Oh, Zihan. One thing to go in for the outplay, has to use up the flash, but KG is still running it back. Fan going in with a world ender. The hookshot is there, but Fan will be able to go in for the chase.
Okay,
the passive might be able to save him, but that will be Fan taking that kill, and Yu missing out the knockup. WBG.
Huh? That's a good swing back, and that's desperately needed by Weibo Gaming, right? Like getting that kill on the top lane and also getting the tower. Just to minimize the gold lead that KBG is already surmounting for themselves. But, in return, KBG is actually getting resources elsewhere in the map. You look at Unrun 9, he's now rotated over to the mid lane just because he has already pushed the bot lane tower. And if you're Weibo Gaming, they still have to do that like 2 consecutive times in order for them to be fully back into this game, because you look at the lead, it's already 4,000 in the advantage of KBG.
Yeah, and thus far they are consistently ballooning this, right? A while ago it was 3K gold lead, right now it is a 4K gold lead, and that amount of gold, the lion's share is going towards the side of Under 9. 1.8k gold lead, and this is one of the disadvantage that we have stated a while ago on having the Garen in favor, or rather Garen matchup up against Zoe, the range advantage on the lane matchup, and along with the ability for Under 9 to just go in for those pokes is being shown and prevalent coming to game 3.
Yeah, you take out the health bars of Fan, the Aatrox, and he will hesitate to go in. That's the goal for this pro composition. This is one way to control the Aatrox. We've seen this time and time again. And you look at Fan, it's so sad to be him right now.
Yeah, now Fan, that CB turbo bubble connected, already down to half HP. So much HP advantage right now for Keepest.
And then that's an easy takedown. This is... I'm really surprised as to why other teams are not doing this to the Aatrox pickup. Because this is basically the way to do it, especially if you take away the Severe. The only reason why this is the severe Aatrox is so reliable is because with enough move speed, you can mow down all this pro composition that the other team is trying to do. But if you take away the severe, there will be no follow-up to the Aatrox, and they won't be able to reach the backline, or he won't be able to reach the backline just in time, and the pokes will just come in over and over again.
Distance covered, right? That's pretty much the advantage that is giving with a severe pick. So much distance being covered, and that extra mobility allows Aatrox to just shine to those team fights. And
True.
right now, going back into this game, it's just 5k gold lead and advantage for TPS Gaming. Ocean Drake coming up and Baron Nashor coming up, or right now available already into the matchup. This could be KBG that they could utilize to play mind games.
Right. Zero vision around the area, and they are maximizing the dark areas. J-Chen has the place check. Oh, on run.
Yu goes in, isolation onto Galio, and Galio has to force out the flash, stay alive. That will be the HP advantage for the side of KBG.
Right, and also J-Chen still has the Hero's Entrance. Left unused, can back up his team, so wisely just backs away and goes for the full reset. Meanwhile, Faye is absorbing damage here by KBG. This is the problem with the Garen, right? Like, you are pretty much a telegraph tank. You have to go in. At least that's something positive for Weibo Gaming. They have champions that can check, you know, the dark areas, specifically the Garen, specifically the Galio. So it's not just going to be the Galio to do that front.
And now CP Trouble Bubble. Is it just so much damage, right? Just one CP Trouble Bubble?
Right, exactly.
He moves the HP bar. J-Chan now stuck with Hextech Ultimatum, but they have to force out the return as Z-Hunt comes through. It's a perfect time. KG still alive still. So no answer back by Weibo.
Right, and again, rinse and repeat for KBG. That's the only thing that they have to do. They just have to poke down all the members of Weibo Gaming, specifically Fan. How many times have we seen this, right? Fan being poked away, and it's over before even the fight started, right? Like, this is pretty much the one of the best ways to control the Aatrox, which is really surprising because KBG is doing it.
Yeah.
When will the other teams do it is the question.
Yeah, it's a very interesting point, right? The Zoe, there's just so much CCs, right? The poke that they have is very something, very strong, rather, right? Very formidable thus far, and it's KBG who's able to look into the perspective that, you know what, this is one of the counters for Aatrox.
Yeah, it's so effective, right? Like, you look at the holistically, or the bigger picture, and KBG will just be continuing to do this. And right now they're faking it, right? Like, they want WBG to face check. They don't have vision. They will be using their engine at least to get information. So yeah, that is one of the ways to check it. Thanks to Ultimatum.
With piercing arrow onto under 9, a lot of damage. Zihan already down low, but denies it as KG doesn't want to overextend. It's Faye who jumps into the back. Hero's Entrance though denied that big engage from KBG to go in. That's a counter attack. But right now it's Jetchan who's down low with so much both.
Good sidestep.
He's able to live much longer.
Right, and Duanyu still alive. Does not have enough mana though. WBG scrambling in numbers, and now KBG setting their sights over towards the Baron, and again, zero vision. Here in this Baron pit will just mean one thing: KBG secures it without any casualty.
WBG a bit too late coming into the Baron's pit, and that will be KBG Gaming securing the objective.
And finally, KBG will have the separation that they want and they need, and Unrun 9 does have the extra flash available to be burnt here as well. The tone,
I like this transition though. Coming from WBG, they want an Ocean Drake, they want something in return, but KBG Gaming has info already. They were able to go in for reset.
Good catch.
Knockback coming from Yu, and that will be the isolation target on the Fan. And with no more jungler left, WBG is just scattered across the map to just look for wins, look for values, but KBG Gaming removes them in the face of the rift. So much prowess.
2 letters. Yu says GG. And that's it. KBG will just go for the push.
Now KBG looking to end this. This is what they wanted. This is what they needed to go in and change the CN leaderboard. And with the Nexus who falls, KBG Gaming reverse sweeps Weibo Gaming.
KBG still very formidable, and I love to see this. This is back into their championship ways, right? Like, they're going to dissect you methodically and will not give you any ounce of openings. And with that said and done, that's an improvement